world searching for gaming knowledge comes the man, the myth, a legend in his own mind, Critical. Welcome back, guys and gals. Critical here. Today I'm bringing you a build guide on my Stuninator. Alright, I've gotten this character up to level 50. I grinded off camera for a little while, and I want to show you what I did. First off, let's take a look at the gear. Alright, because if I take my gear... Actually, you know, that's something we should do. Let's take the gear off and see what my stats are. It's probably a good place to start. We'll look at the character before we actually look at the gear. Yes, I am a professional YouTuber. Can't you tell? So without any gear on, I have 429 health, 100 mana, 10 health regen, 10 mana regen, 15 stun avoidance. Now we bring up my character screen. You do see that I am at level 50. I have innately 2 strength, which is nice. No resistances whatsoever. I only a 10% chance to block. You know, I'm pretty gimped right now. But a couple things you will notice. Increased throwing attack speed is at 20%. That's just for my skills and my passives. My critical strike multiplier is 200%. Very nice. And increased throw attack damage, 75%. Okay? Now, the cool thing is, as I put this gear on, watch these numbers go up. Now, the first thing you're going to notice, I changed my weapon. Why? Is because a one-handed blunt weapon, all right, the spiked mace thing, adds 22 melee physical damage. Doesn't really help me, but 22% increased physical damage. And my primary skill is thrown hammers, which is a physical attack. And I get 46% stun chance. Now this is lower than the weapon I was using before because it fractured on me, unfortunately. But it does give me a chance to slow on hit, which is actually very useful for this character. I'd like to have a weapon that has a higher slow on hit and a higher chance to stun. But just putting this weapon on, my stun chance is at 130 now, which is really nice. And then my increased physical damage goes from 25 to 50 to almost 60, which is awesome. And then the armor is just a piece of armor that I found. It's got pretty good 5% increase to health, 11% increased armor, and then 46% increased health regeneration when I take a potion. And then it adds 7 health. So it's basically health armor. Now, my shield has 400, I wish, 146 increased throwing attack damage. That's huge. That pops me up from attack damage, thrown attack damage of 75% to 221%. Now, my helm, it's nothing to write home about. It's the best thing I could find that had some protections on it that I really needed. I mean, there are better helms for this character, just not one I could find. It's kind of like the weapon. It's fractured. It's not fully upgraded the way I wanted it to be. It's the best I could find, though. Sometimes that's what you have to deal with. I like these boots. I like run speed boots. They're awesome. Now, I built these gloves. I think it had void damage and the dodge rating already on it, and I was able to get 64% increased thrown attack damage and 22% increased thrown attack speed on them, which are huge for this. Now, that jade amulet I had before, excuse me, I went ahead and replaced it. I picked this one up. 19% increased fire damage doesn't really help this character at all, but 34% increased throwing attack damage on this thing. It's flipping awesome. My belt, I was trying to get some stun avoidance, basically dodge and stun avoidance, and it gives me some additional armor. So that's really nice. Now the last 3 items are actually pretty nice. This relic gives me vitality, 2% reduced health regen, which kind of hurts, unfortunately. But it came with I mean, this is how it dropped: 40% increased critical strike chance and 56% increased throwing attack speed. And an 8% increased health regeneration I added on to it after the fact. So basically I get 6% increase on that. And then both these rings dropped with the same stat. I haven't been able to pull a shard off for this one yet. 18% increased throwing attack damage and subtracts 4 from the throwing mana cost for that attack. I've got it on both of these items, one at 18%, one at 54%. I mean, these are awesome. Now, I had a better ring. It had the same one on it, but it also had a really higher crit chance. I had 2 rings very similar, and I lost it in the crafting menu. Maybe I'll explain that to you. But with my gear on, okay, you'll see throwing attack damage nearly 400%, 391%. So what I wanted to show here is, yeah, I've got a build that I like and I was able to put together, but you can have a really good build, and if you don't have some good gear to go along with that build, it's gonna be tough going. All right, this is not a build it and I win button. There is nothing like that in this game that I know of. Well, I guess with the right skills and a right mage build, it is possible to basically I win button, but not this character. Not even close. All right, let's talk passives. We'll talk about our passives first. Now, I went straight Sentinel. I did kind of dabble into the Void Net, and I still want to. Okay, but let's start off basically in our home turf, Sentinel. Now, I went back and I've redone some of the skills in here. So I've taken 5 and Steel Aegis. So it adds 5% block chance and 25% block protection. I kind of want to bring that up because blocking is important, but this is how I was able to jump to the next node that I wanted. All right, this one adds 50% increased throwing attack damage and 20% increased throwing attack speed. And I max this out 10 for 10. All right, because this is my bread and butter right here. All right, the next one I went for, I haven't maxed it out yet. I do want to. It gives me extra health, Guardian, and 84% increased stun chance. That's at 12 of 15, and I get an 84% increased stun ability on all attacks. That's flipping awesome. Okay. No, not all attacks, excuse me. I should say on any attack that has a stun ability or something that has stun tied to it. Now, I respect my skills and I wanted Relentless. Grants 25% increased damage. That's global across the board. And 75% stun avoidance. I was getting stunned a lot and it was killing me in the arena. So I was trying to figure out how to increase my damage, but also get some stun avoidance. And I moused over Relentless and I was like, wait a second, it's been sitting here staring me in the face. Damage and stun avoidance. Yeah, sign me up. Now I skipped these 3. I don't like on potion items, use a node that gives you something if you use a potion. It's not really my thing. And I like Juggernaut for the protection, but not for the damage reduction. It's just not my thing. I don't know why. It doesn't grab me. And the same with up here. Once again, something on spell use just really doesn't get it for me. I might take bleeding damage at some point, adds 10% chance per point to inflict bleeding damage on hit, which would be really powerful for something that I throw hammers as fast as I do now. And it's ungodly sick how fast I throw hammers, but I'll show you that in a minute. For that reason, anything that's on hit, ignite, slow, bleed, all that is powerful. I just didn't want to put my passive points into it because there's a lot better ones in my opinion. Speaking of which, Flawless Defender adds 5% block chance and 250 block armor. All right. Now, I really didn't want to get retaliation. There are places where this might be useful, but I wanted more you know, something to defend myself with. And I was taking a lot of damage and I wanted to try to mitigate that. So Flawless Defender is the way I got my first 5 points in the upper tier of Sentinel. Then I put 5 points into Hammerhead. This gives me 50% increased critical strike chance with all thrown attacks. Loving it. Javelier adds 50% to your critical strike multiplier with thrown attacks. So I'm critting more often, and when I do crit, I have a 50% increase to the critical strike multiplier. Now you need to understand that it's not a 50% increase to the damage, the critical strike damage. It's a 50% increase to the actual multiplier, which is, in my opinion, it's a better buff. Just how I see it though. I didn't take either one of these. So for right now, I want to maximize my Guardian. I want that 15 out of 15. Probably want to maximize Relentless at some point. Okay. And there's a lot of points left. You have 95 total points to spend once you max out your level in this game so far at this point, but I'm not there yet. Oh, can I also say that I love this cloud looking, kind of a starry cloud as it kind of fills up and it's like this viscous substance kind of floating in this. It's just really cool. I love it. And the Paladin's gold looks really nice too. Now, I want to take some Void Knight. I can't take anything up here because I took Sentinel, which means this is all locked for me, which is fine. But here's a few nodes that I will be speccing into in the future. Devouring Blade. Increased damage per point if you have killed an enemy in the last 4 seconds. With as many hammers as I have flying, okay? If I'm throwing hammers out and that hammer hits an enemy, and let's say it's a 4th hammer and there's 4 hammers in front of it and this last hammer kills something, all those hammers coming back are going to have increased damage now. It's sick. Okay. I'm going to put 10 points into that. Then I'm going to get Void Bolts, spells and throwing attacks. Oh my God. Throwing attacks deal 2 additional void damage per on hit per point. Okay. And I'd probably get at least 5 on that one at a bare minimum because I need to pump up to the next level. The one is the coolest one though. When you hit an enemy. Now, read that again. When you hit an enemy, it doesn't say melee or melee, depending how you pronounce it. And that means on even a thrown attack, you have a 10% chance per point to inflict a future attack 2 seconds later that deals 50 void damage. Okay, think of all my hammers flying out there. I maximize this 10 for 10, and then 2 seconds later, after the initial hit, 2 seconds later, that second hammer is coming back. They take 50 void damage. If I get it to 100%, the hammer hits them again, and it starts the whole cycle over again. That is going to be sick. All right. And that is all the points I want to put in Void Knight. Now, I didn't want to take this all the way to 95. One, it would take me about several days of grinding it out completely. And I don't think people are ready to commit that much time in trying to get a single build done rapidly. But I wanted to give you guys, up to level 50. Here's what I would do the Sentinel. And then beyond that, here's what I'm looking at trying to do. The reason I say looking, if you guys have been watching these videos, I've played a certain way. And when I was getting ready for this build guide, I changed how I played. Seriously, I changed a lot of how I was doing things. So let's go into hammers. It's my bread and butter, okay? I almost thought about respecting this, and I'll show you why in a second, but I decided not to. So you start with your basic hammers, and I went for Force of Impact. 5 for 5, 100% increased stun chance. As you see, I'm called the Stuninator. My idea is to stun everything. Overwhelm, 100% more damage against stunned enemies, and I only took 4 of 6. This is the node that I'd like to put some more points into. I kind of wish I had. All right. It gives me 30% chance to regain 12 health on hit. That just keeps, it's like a free heal. And it's a constant heal. And I'm throwing hammers so quickly. Some enemies, I can face tank and just throw hammers through them. Every hammer that goes out has a chance of giving me 12 health. Every hammer that comes back through them also has that same ability. That's awesome. I went with Rapid Throw. 48% increased attack speed. All right, 8 for 8. I want my attack speed. I want hammers flying like there's no tomorrow. I want a complete line of just nothing but just hammers. I took Shattering Force. It gives me a 30% chance to shred 40 armor for 40 seconds on hit. This is really important because there's a lot of enemies out there that have a high resistance or are almost impossible to stun. And with this build, since I'm trying to stun everything and stunning things gives me extra damage, if I can't stun stuff, I was having a tough time putting at least 2, but I'm thinking I might like to put all 5 into this just as a oh my god type thing. It gives me the chance to shred their armor, which allows me to do more damage even to the enemies that I can't stun. That's really important. All right. Now, if you guys have been watching, you've been seeing that I've been enjoying Shield Rush. Now, I tried a couple things with Shield Rush, trying to do more damage with it and focused on that, and I found that's not what I want. I want Rush Mastery, 120% increased mana efficiency. Basically, it means if it costs 100 mana, it should cost me only 48 to cast it. And I want to be able to cast this a lot because I'm using it as a movement skill. Now it does damage, but I want to use it to protect me also. You take 20% less damage while using Shield Rush, meaning I can rush through ground effects or enemies and they're trying to hit me, but as I'm passing by them, I'll take 20% less damage. Always important. Shield Rush has 175% increased stun chance while moving. I'm the Stuninator. Obviously, I want to stun stuff. Consuming Path. You deal 125% increased damage to your enemies in your path. I find that to be very important because if I'm going to take the time to rush through them, might as well do damage on the way. And then you deal 60% more damage to enemies on full health in your path. So if I haven't damaged them already, not only am I going to do 125% increased damage to enemies in your path, I'm going to do 60% more on top of that. Win-win. Erasing Strike. Now, I took this as kind of a, let me try it. It might work with this. This is nice. And I'm going to show you why. I'm not going to explain it. I'd rather show it to you. But let me show you the nodes that I took. 5 for 5 for Merciful. Erasing Strike initial hit deals 75% more damage to enemies that are already damaged. Most of the time, I've already damaged them with my hammers. When they get close enough, Merciful Strike. Erasure of the Living. I've took 5 for 5. It gives me initial hit deals 50% more damage and instantly kills enemies that drop below health threshold equal to 10% of their maximum health. So I just erase them from existence, which is really nice. 20% increased mana cost. That hurts, but when you erase an enemy, you have a 50% chance to create a stationary void beam at its location that lasts for 3 seconds, continuously dealing void damage to surrounding enemies. That's awesome. It's just free damage as far as I'm concerned. I took this node, adds a 4-second cooldown, but increases mana efficiency by 50% because I'm not spamming this ability. I'm using it in a tactful use scenario, and I'll show you that in a few. Mana Absorption. Recover 4 mana for each enemy you erase. It's just get back some mana for using the skill. I don't get back enough, but it's something. Dust to the Wind. I like that node name, by the way. The void rifts created when you erase an enemy have 140% increased area of an effect, meaning it causes more damage and a wider area to enemies around. Rifts of Destruction. The void rifts created when you erase an enemy deal 20% increased damage. I only took 1 point. I was maxed at 20. And then Tempest. I don't even use this very much. I have it on my bar. I figure I'll go ahead and max it out. So I took the node that makes it cost 5 less damage to use, but deals 25% increased damage, which is nice. I took the 7 for 7 for additional armor, because if I'm using it, I'm probably surrounded, and I don't want to die. Iron Reach, 40% increased area of effect. It was just a node to take, honestly. Whirling Blades, increased damage by 20%. Once again, just a node to take. And then 60% increased mana regen while spinning. This one I took on purpose, because if I have very little mana to start, it doesn't cost a lot for me to use it, but I'm going to regen more mana than I'm actually using. That's what I'm trying to do with this node, as a quick way to get out of trouble and maybe regen a little bit of mana on as we're doing it. I find it helpful. That is my build. There's a skill left to specialize in, and I really don't have one I want to specialize in right now. I would probably take Shield Throw if Shield Throw had a specialization tree. Because it's still on my bar. I don't use it as much anymore, but if I did, you know, it'd be something I'd go into. But why do I keep Shield Throw on my bar? Because it's a physical and a throwing attack, meaning everything that affects my hammers affects Shield Throw. If Shield Throw had a bar, it would be a main attack in this build, because I'm all about throwing. So how fast are my hammers now? Well, let's go to the training dummy, and I want you to watch how much damage I'm doing and how fast the hammers are going. Oh my God, there's a 300 crit. I mean, look at this. It's sick. Literally. That is just, it's phenomenally sick. It's awesome. I love it. Look how many hammers I can get out. I can surround myself with hammers before one comes back and hits me. Gets absorbed back in. And it's just really cool. All right, let's go to Omen of Silence. All right, a good way to test the build, in my opinion. Run and see how much damage we can do. Oh, you guys don't want to mess with me. Seriously, you don't want to mess with me. Now, I do have a chance of leveling up here. That would be funny if I did, because I'm trying to do a level 50 build, but these guys are hitting me, but they're not doing enough damage to make me really worry about it. And that ability where I'm getting health back is just awesome, because for the longest time, this character took a lot of damage. Now I'm mitigating most of that damage because my hammers are hitting so fast, and I'm getting damage back. Come on. You guys will die with one hit usually now. And yes, there'll be guys spawning from behind, which is fine. I do want to check these items. There's like some more shards that I need to get. But look how fast I'm erasing stuff. And the hammers are just so fast. Now this is going to be funny. I can stun the Omen of Silence. He'll still cast sometimes, but I've got him stunned. He got an attack off, and that was it. That was the Omen of Silence. I basically made him stand there and take it. And he liked it. No, he didn't like it, but I like to think that he just stood there and was like, okay, keep hitting me. You know, he did get an attack off. All right, but that's probably the best I've had so far. Let's go ahead and let's check the arena. Now in the arena, if I don't die, it's a good run, because the arena is completely a different monster. You can easily die in the arena. I don't care what build you have. The arena is nasty, and sometimes you can get copies of mobs, meaning 2 or 3 elite mobs that have some of the same attributes that make it really difficult. Spiders are the bane of this character right now. They do a lot of damage really quickly, and it's really hard to mitigate that damage. But there's my slow working. That's why I want a weapon that has more slow on it. Now I'm gonna stand here and take it for a second from this guy. I used a potion, but most of that damage I was able to... Oh, there we go. So what I like to do, I haven't gotten a good grouping of mobs. I need like 2 or 3 spawns of the void leeches, or a group of spiders would work too. So what I like to do, come here. I'm gonna rush through these spiders. Oh yeah, here we go. This is gonna be a nice grouping. I'm gonna group all these things up. Rush through. Now I'm gonna charge in. There we go. That's how I've been using the erasing strike. I'll get a nice large group together, charge in, erasing strike, charge out. And they're sitting there trying to shoot me, especially these stupid spiders. I hate the spiders. And they're just sitting there shooting at me, and my void pillars are just causing them damage like there's no tomorrow. And then I can bring other mobs into that same void, the void strikes, and get extra damage on them. The mages caused me a lot of problems there for a while, but as long as nothing else is really giving me an issue, I can stand there and take it from the mages now. These guys, though, I'm telling you, you get an elite mob with 2 or 3 of the chargers. These things are nasty. They stun, they do a lot of damage. They're the main reason I was trying to get stun avoidance. Oh, gotta pop a potion to be on the safe side. So you see how I'm using my shield charge as a... I tried to dodge that, but I couldn't. As a way to dodge and or get out of the way of an enemy. And I do like charging them while they're charging me. It's kind of fulfilling. Let's start the next wave. Should have checked for my loot, but I really want to show you guys the build and not, hey, this is what I'm looting. Oh, this is gonna be nasty. Charge through. You see, I got stunned a couple times there. You know, I'm playing the Stuninator, but I'm still getting stunned by mobs. It's kind of embarrassing. And there you go. They got too close. I charged through them to get some extra damage, and then just kept moving. Ouch. That blade attack hurts. Okay, I'm gonna get hit from behind. Oh yeah, took a lot of damage too. But any mob I can actually stun, I usually can run them down really quick. Oh, that's beautiful. And the crits fly. There's nearly a 500 crit right there. 588 crit on that skelly. It's just, it's almost sickening what I can do with this character. Ouch! There is, see, it's what I'm talking about. Those spiders are nasty. I got stunned by the one guys, and the spiders just about took me out. I'm saying right now, the spiders are the bane of this character's existence. 51. I wasn't trying to level, but okay. Well, that's a good thing, and I need levels. I'll put the point there. I said I was going to. Now I'll do extra damage after I kill an enemy. So once the first enemy's dead, every enemy after that for 4 seconds, and if I can keep killing stuff, it's just a continuous weapon buff or damage buff. Yeah, you want to charge through me? That's fine. I can do the same thing, buddy. Ugh. These spiders aren't so bad. Those spiders are bad. I hate the spinning spiders. If there's a lot of enemies in the area, I can just stand there and take it because of my hammers giving me a regen. But if not, you know, if it's only like one enemy or something, that's pretty rough. All right, guys and gals. Let's look. You never know. I might get something nice. Come on, give me something nice. Let me show off to the community. Nah, nothing really nice. Oh well. All right, guys and gals. This has been my build guide for the Stuninator. All right, go out and try it. It is really fun, but you need to be able to move. Movement speed's very important, and you need to get stun resistance. I have no ward. This is a ward-free build. It's my first ward-free build. My saying is ward is life, and I'm not using any ward on this character. All right, so stun resistance is very important. But yeah, go out there and try it. It is a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this content. If you have, drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Bye.